welcome to Al Ortolani Field for the nightcap of this Day 3 of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship, where the Pittsburgh State Gorillas are playing host to the University of Central Oklahoma Broncos. I'm Shelby White. The Central Broncos got here by winning their first two games of the tournament, winning on Thursday over the Lindenwood Lions by a score of 3-0, and then yesterday over the Missouri Southern State University Lions by a score of 2-0. First batter for the Broncos will be TJ Black, the second baseman. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Black. On the hill for the Gorillas is senior Dante Richardson, a native of Pittsburgh, Kansas, and a graduate of Pittsburgh High School. The 1-1 fouled out of play in between the netting and the new hitting facility that is built at the end of the third base dugout at the Pittsburgh State Gorillas call their home dugout. Richardson starting from the back of the rubber, a unique pitching style, but it works out for him as he blows the fastball right by Black for a strikeout to start the game. Rounding out the rest of the Broncos batting order, it's Brock Rumener who's stepping up to the plate now. Then the third baseman Philip Scott, designated hitter, and the cleanup hitter is Kyle Crowell. First baseman Joe Mondrigan bats 5th. Taylor Avila, the left fielder, will bat 6th. TK McWhorter, the catcher, is batting 7th. Drew Barrier, the right fielder, bats 9th. And Ryan Harrell, the shortstop, bats 9th. It's Black, Rumener, Scott, Crowell, Mondrigan, Avila, McWhorter, Barrier, and Harrell. The 0-1 to Rumener is a bender that catches the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Richardson filling up the strike zone early and often here in this first inning against the Broncos. Meanwhile, if you look at how the Gorillas got here, they won their first game against the Emporia State Hornets. Ground ball to third, where it's picked up by John Oliver, slung over to first in time to Ty Herrenbrook for out number 2, excuse me. The Gorillas got here by winning their first game against the Emporia State Hornets 5-4. Then they dropped a 5-4 contest against the Central Missouri Mules yesterday. That had them falling in the elimination game where they defeated mere minutes ago the Missouri Western State University Griffins by a score of, you guessed it, 5-4 to get here. Now, the Gorillas, if they want to continue playing, have to win today and will force a play into the championship game at 12:30. However, if the Broncos win, they will have an automatic spot in the championship game. 1 ball and 1 strike on the third baseman, Philip Scott. Richardson will look into his catcher, Caleb Cox, to get the sign. Kicks and deals high. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Defensively for the Gorillas around the horn, the battery is Richardson and Cox. First to third, Ty Herrenbrook, Quinn Reesner, Tyson Cushman at shortstop, and John Oliver at third. And it's Clint Allen in left, Brian Oldmeyer in center, and Chaz Burgess in right. And the 2-1 will be sent over to Burgess, who gets on it quickly and tosses it in. It's a 2-out single for Scott and the Broncos here in the top of the first, looking to capitalize early. Kyle Crowell, the designated hitter, now will step in. Crowell, yesterday in the Broncos' victory over the Lions of Missouri Southern, went 3 for 3, where he hit 2 singles and a double. He also drew a walk. The Broncos defeated the Lions by a score of 2-0. Both runs coming in the 4th inning on 3 consecutive hits, including back-to-back doubles. Richardson out of the stretch, now standing on the front of the rubber, and he'll lob a throw over to first to keep Scott close by. It's no balls and 1 strike on the designated hitter, Crowell. Defense straight away for the Gorillas. Only shift might be Reesner, shading closer towards second. Look at the runner at first and the pitch. That's sent high and deep into left. Coming in to get it is left fielder Allen. He'll grab it with one hand, almost overran it, but is able to hold on for the out, and it's a 2-out single, but nothing more for the Broncos. To the bottom of the first, it's Central Oklahoma 0, Pittsburg State coming up back after this on the MIAA Network.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
We've got our heads in the game,
our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
The Broncos in the top of the first managed a 2-out single, but that was all that they had. Now the Gorillas will have their turn, hoping to draw first blood. And they will do it off of the right-handed starting pitcher, Braden Nelson of the Broncos. Leading things off for the Gorillas, you can see him right there, the shortstop, Tyson Cushman. Definitely the emotional leader for this Gorilla squad. Cushman, talk a little bit more about him, but coming into the game with a .268 batting average. Very respectable. He's steady with the stick, so he can hit anywhere in this Gorilla lineup. He's batted 6th, 3rd, 2nd, and now 1st in this MIAA tournament. Nelson will look into his catcher, McWhirter, get the sign, and deal a fastball for a strike against Cushman. Rounding out the rest of the Gorilla lineup, it's Alex Achterman, the designated hitter, batting second. John Oliver, the third baseman, batting third. Ty Herrenbrook, the first baseman, bats cleanup. Caleb Cox, the catcher, will hit fifth. Chaz Burgess, the right fielder, bats sixth. Brian Olmeyer, the center fielder, will hit seventh. Clint Allen, the left fielder, bats eighth. Quinn Reesner, the second baseman, will hit ninth. And the 0-2 is soared into center, where it is grabbed by Brock Rumener. All second team, all MIAA selection in the outfield. So that'll bring Alex Achterman, who pitched the first game for the Gorillas on Thursday night against the Emporia State Hornets, got the win. See, since then he has been the Gorillas' designated hitter. Takes a curveball for a strike at the letters. And then, as I said, Richardson on the hill for Pittsburg State, rounding out how their starting 10 go. The 0-1 is a two-seamer that drifts away from Achterson. Around the horn defensively, it's Nelson and McWhirter the battery, Mondrigan, Black, Harrell the shortstop, Scott at third, then the outfield from left to right, Avila, Rumener, and Barrier for the Broncos. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Achterman, 296 coming into today's game. The 1-2, fastball high and outside. Achterman will lay off. Achterman, such a prolific hitter that when he pitches, there is no designated hitter in the Gorilla lineup. And he'll foul that out away and stay alive. After the previous game, the Gorillas won against the Griffins, we have our slate set up for these last, at the moment, 3 games. Count now full on Achterman. As tomorrow at 9 a.m., Missouri Southern will take on Central Missouri. It is after the Lions defeated the Mules 5-4 at approximately 2:30 this afternoon, and Achterman will chase a fastball out of the zone, go down swinging. Quickly, it's 2 up and 2 down for the Gorillas. Assuming Central Oklahoma wins, the championship game will be at 12:30 tomorrow. There you can see it right there, a high fastball, and Ackerman was way late, even trying to come close to it. If Pittsburg State can manage a win against the Broncos, they will play at 12:30 again. And then the championship will be at 4. The 1-0 is sent soaring into right. Barrier going to go over, give it a look, and make the catch before slamming into the wall. Great determination and focus by the right fielder, Drew Barrier, there to get the final out of the inning off the bat of John Oliver. So it's 3 up and 3 downs for the Gorillas at the end of one complete. No score. Back with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship after this.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience
Using our skills,
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities. Communities.
It's the top of the second. Still no score. Central Oklahoma with the only base runner of today. It was a 2-out single by Philip Scott. Now it'll be Joe Mondragon stepping up to face off against Dante Richardson. Richardson kicks and fires. Fastball just above the letters. Ball 1. Richardson, as I mentioned, a native of Pittsburgh, graduate of Pittsburgh High School. The 1-0 is sent flying and almost making it into the Gorilla bullpen down the left field line. That'll move things up to 1 ball and 1 strike. Very comfortable evening for this late start. After today, where it was cool most of the day, it is a very nice evening here. Still requiring a few layers, but not nearly as many as we had last night, especially not Thursday night. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now on Mondragon, the first baseman for the Broncos, 2-seamer, will nab the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Reasoner and Cushman back on the green turf, representing the outfield here to give themselves a little bit more range. The 2-2. It'll be fouled back into the netting. 2 balls, 2 strikes still. Beyond that, it's straight away for the Gorilla defense. Not much of a breeze to speak of. Has been blowing in from right field and out of the north-northeast all tournament. 2-2 swung on and missed there by Mondragon. It'll be picked up by Cox and thrown out. Boy, that was close. Joe Mondragon put his head down and ran hard the entire 90 feet and nearly beat it out, especially with the ball in the dirt like that. As it was, Cox was able to make a strong throw and get the out at first. The second strikeout of the game for Richardson. I'll bring up the left fielder Taylor Avila. Avila will jerk away from a ball inside. For his part yesterday against the Missouri Southern Lions, Avila was 1 for 3, only hit a double, but that double was a big one as it drove in Kyle Crowell. as it drove in Joe Mondragon, and that gave the Broncos their only 2 runs of the game. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the second. Still looking for the first run, and their balls will hit down the line and left, and it will be fair. 1 up the wall off the 330 sign. It's picked up by Allen, and cruising into second with a 1-out double is Taylor Avila. My goodness, what a hit there by Avila as that went down the line in a hurry. It was going to be extra bases if it stayed fair, but that was the question, would it stayed fair? And it bounced right in the corner, then banging up off the first 3 of the 330 sign. That has him standing at second with 1 out. First runner in scoring position for either team tonight, and it's the second hit of the game for the Broncos. Second baseman Reesner will try and keep him close. Richardson will now face off against the catcher T.K. McWhirter. McWhirter had a forgettable game against the Lions. He went 0 for 4. Flying out to left, flying out to center, grounding out to third, though he did reach on a fielder's choice. The 1-0. On the lower outside corner for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the second. McWhirter, a transfer to Central Oklahoma from Kansas State University. On the year since joining the Broncos, McWhirter is a .246 hitter. The ball sent skying toward third base in foul territory just above the pit. Spray painted on the field is John Oliver. He was listening to his teammates who were yelling to him that he had plenty of room to make the catch, so Oliver was able to concentrate on squeezing it for the second out of the inning. That's a great bit of teamwork right there. Oliver getting over to where the ball was, getting set, squeezing it, and listening to his teammates, and great heads-up talk by the rest of his teammates to let him know that he had plenty of space. That batter now is Drew Barrier, who grounded over to Reesner at second on a hop. Throw over to first, a little low, but it's dug out on the back end by Herrenbrook, and that will do it in the top of the second. A 1-out double by Avila, but nothing comes of it. We played 1.5. The score still 0-0. Back after this with the bottom of the second here on the MIAA Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Here in the bottom of the second, the score is still 0-0. Braden Nelson for the Broncos worked a 1-2-3 bottom of the first, and he's looking to do the same thing here. First batter he'll face is Ty Herrenbrook, the first baseman. And it's a strike in there at the knees. Nelson working from the third base side of the rubber. Doing so allows him to keep the ball hidden from right-handed and left-handed batters for a little bit longer, as he has to throw it across his body toward home. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Herrenbrook now. The 1-1 swung on and missed. Herrenbrook can't catch up with the high fastball. If there are two Achilles heels for Pittsburgh State, one is they cannot seem to lay off the high fastball, and two, they strand a lot of runners. In their previous two games, they left 10 on against Central Missouri, and then against Emporia State, they left 7 on base. The 2-2 is sent deep into the air and left. The night sky almost losing it. Now coming in charging is Avila, and he is able to get there in time. It was a little bit of an issue there for a second. I'm sure if Avila could get over there, as it was up there for a long time, and he lost it. You can see right there, he went back, and then he had to come sprinting in, and eventually he was able to get to where it was and squeeze it for the out. So now Caleb Cox, the catcher, will take his first look at the right-handed throwing Nelson. And very quickly, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Nelson working at a brisk clip, though not nearly a brisk as clip as his teammate, Dylan Hall. Hall, in the game on Thursday against Lindenwood, would throw about 3 pitches in the span of 2 minutes. He was getting on the rubber, getting the sign, and going. The 2-1. That one's spoiled out of play. After Cox, it's Chaz Burgess, the right fielder for the Gorillas. The 2-2 on the outside corner, curveball laid off by Cox. Had the benefit there of knowing the strike zone since he is the catcher. The 3-2, that's popped up into left center field. Drifting over is Avila, and he will make the catch for the second out of the inning. Back-to-back fly balls out to Avila in left, as the Gorillas with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Another look, just getting underneath it was Cox, able to work the count, but not able to get the successful base hit. Ball 1 against Chaz Burgess. Left-handed hitting right fielder for the Gorillas. Hitting .270 on the year. The 1-0, that's deep behind second, sliding catch by the second baseman. Black, throw over to first. No, in and out of the glove of Mondragon at first, and that was a great effort by T.J. Black there deep in the hole to get to that ball. An even better throw, but it just bounced out of the glove of Mondragon. And didn't have a chance to complete the out. So that was a runner at first with 1 out. It's the first base hit for the Gorillas tonight. And the batter is Blaine Ohlmeyer. Ohlmeyer watches a ball go by. Ohlmeyer was leading off for the Gorillas at the start of this tournament, but running into some struggles here and has been dropped down to 7th. He'll foul it out of play. Ohlmeyer, .241 average. Here's another look at that ground ball mill bouncing off the first base side of the bag, and there you can see the incredible range by Black, and it was a strong, accurate throw, but bringing the glove up too soon was Mondragon over there at first, and as a result, it was just a single. Now ball dashed, a couple diving Broncos racing around first, and coming up to third is Burgess. And at the single at first is Blaine Ohlmeyer. Now the Gorillas making a little noise here. They have runners at the corners with 2 out. Nice bit of hitting by Ohlmeyer, knowing that Mondragon is holding the runner at first, so that makes a big hole. It was a diving attempt by Mondrigan from first, and then TJ Black trying to make another flashy stop, came up just short. It was fielded by the right fielder Barrier and then tossed in, but not before being able to get to go to third was Burgess. So now there's the left fielder Clint Allen. First pitch is a strike against Allen. Working out of the stretch for the first time tonight, and a throw over to first now is Nelson. Get to see how Nelson can handle the pressure of having runners on base. He'll check both runners. Now he'll do a slide step toward home and miss low and away. Slide step, much faster way to the plate, but you also lose power when you do that. So it's a bit of a gamble. There's the runner at third, Ohlmeyer. Runner over at first. Excuse me, the runner at first is Ohlmeyer. The runner at third is Burgess. The 1-1 sent into right field, and it's going to get down in front of Barrier. He circles it, and he's only going to be able to pump fake it and throw it into Black at second. Going first to third is Ohlmeyer, and coming in to score is Chaz Burgess. The Gorillas draw first blood here in the bottom of the second with 3 consecutive singles with 2 outs. Great bit of hitting there by Clint Allen, driving the outside pitch the other way. Now the second baseman, Quinn Reesner, is up. His inning started with back-to-back fly balls to Taylor Avila, out and left by Ty Herrenbrook and Caleb Cox. Since then, Chaz Burgess, Blaine Ohlmeyer, now Clint Allen have all singled as the girls up 1-0 and threatening to add on more. This is a game of different magnitude for both of these teams. Yes, there's a spot in the championship game on the line for both, but they can approach it a little differently. For the Gorillas, they have to put everything they have into this game, as if they lose, they are done. Meanwhile, the Broncos, while it would be nice to win tonight, know that if they have to, they can concede this game and play for tomorrow and force a winner-take-all berth into the championship. Failed bunt attempt by Reesner makes it no balls and 2 strikes. Nelson will come set, take a deep breath, check the runner at first, slide step and deal, and it'll be punched out of play into some trees halfway down the right field line outside Al Ortolani Field. On deck for the Gorillas is Tyson Cushman. Should Reesner reach base. The 0-2 swung on and missed as Reesner taking off and faking a steal from first was Allen, but it doesn't matter as Quinn Reesner chases a fastball well beyond the outside portion of the plate for the final out of the inning. However, 3 2-out singles give the girls a 1-0 lead. To the top of the third, it's 1-0 Pittsburgh State. Back after this with more baseball here on the MIAA Network.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
One run on 3 hits, stranding a pair. That's how the Gorillas fared in the bottom of the second, and now they lead 1-0 over the Central Oklahoma Broncos. Now number 3 seeded Central Oklahoma against the number 4 seed Pittsburgh State. Ball low to Ryan Harrell, a shortstop for Central Oklahoma. Harrell made a phenomenal defensive play yesterday against Missouri Southern, snaring a line drive with a lunge that looked like it was going up the middle. And then after he got it, he dove to the bag and doubled off a runner at second base. That ended a scoring threat by the Lions. The 2-0 from Richardson. That one is in there. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Harrell, a tall, lanky shortstop. Where's the number 2? Batting stance has a little bit of bat waggle. Looks somewhat like Derek Jeter. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Harrell. Freshman shortstop for the Broncos. The 2-2. That's chopped into the ground to third and letting it roll foul just barely is John Oliver, and I mean just barely. It bounced to the very last second to the foul side of third. Take a look at it again. Here's a high chopper coming in. One to go to the bare hand, realizing he had no play was Oliver, so he moved his hand, and it might have cut the corner closest to home, but the third base umpire, who was right there, ruled it a foul. That's Matt Austinfort. Joining Austinfort on the field is Greg Stanskak at first, and the home plate umpire is Aaron Christians. The 2-2 now grounded over to Herrenbrook at first. He'll take it himself for out number 1. Nice little ground ball there. Trying to go inside out was Harrell, and he put the burners on, trying to get there to first and beat it out, but was unable to do so. He'll head back to the top of the order with TJ Black. He'll foul the first ball off the inside of his foot, and he'll take a few steps to walk it off. Richardson coming in today, a 3.30 ERA in 15 appearances, including this one. This is just his second start on the year. Thrown 30 innings, giving up 11 earned runs. The 0-1 missing, 1 ball and 1 strike on Black. However, Richardson will fill up the strike zone, 38 strikeouts to just 16 walks. The 1-1 high, 2-1. And Richardson, after getting a relatively stress-free first out, finding his command a bit. The 2-1. That's fouled back into the backstop. Makes it 2-2. Fighting command, something Richardson has struggled with this year. He's thrown 6 wild pitches and has plunked 4 batters. 2-2 the count with 1 out in the top of the third. Girls leading 1-0, and that is a fastball that stayed high and away. Black, the seasoned senior, able to lay off of it easily. The 3-2. Swung on and missed. Gets away from Cox briefly. He'll pick it up, step over to the inside part of the bag, and throw it over to Herrenbrook down at first to complete the strikeout. The second time tonight that a ball in the dirt has been blocked by Cox and then thrown down to first for a strikeout. That is Richardson's 3rd strikeout of the day. Cox did a pretty good job there of blocking it. Kind of hunched his shoulders up a bit, and that made him tense up and could have had the ball bounce further away from him, but it stayed close enough that he was able to grab it and throw it down to first without a problem. Center fielder Brock Rumener up now. He grounded out to third in his first at-bat, and he'll watch 2 strikes hit the corners. And now he's down, no balls and 2 strikes, just as he was back in the first when he grounded out to Oliver at third. The 0-2. Swung on and missed right into the glove of Cox. And it's another strikeout for Richardson, his 4th of the game. At the end of 2.5, it's Pittsburgh State 1, Central Oklahoma 0. Back after this with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship after these messages.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
3 up, 3 down for the Broncos in the top of the third. Score remains 1-0. Back at the top of the order for the Gorillas, and it's Tyson Cushman who flew out to center in his first at-bat. He'll watch a strike go by at the knees. The 0-1, missing high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. A 1-1 from Cushman, will just miss. In the game against Central Missouri, Cushman was 0 for 3 with a walk and was hit by a pitch. Here he'll ground out to Black at second for the first out of the inning. Next batter is the designated hitter, Alex Achterman. Achterman had a good game for himself against the Mules. He was 1 for 4 officially, but he scored 3 times, reaching base 4 of his 5 plate appearances. Hit a double in the first inning against the Mules and reached by errors in the third and the sixth. Also drew a walk in the fifth. The only time he didn't reach was in the bottom of the ninth, where he grounded out to the first baseman, 3 unassisted. 1 ball, 1 strike on Achterman, and he'll foul that one out of play. Achterman will step out, get composed, and dig back in. Lineup has been shaken up and changed batting order-wise throughout this entire tournament for the Gorillas. The 1-2 just high, and Nelson thought he had a strikeout. Started to spin off the mound, waiting for the ball to be thrown around. Turns out to be a high ball, 2-2. At one point, starting the top 3 were Olmeyer, Cushman, and Achterman, 3 straight lefties. Now it's Cushman, Achterman, and Oliver, a lefty-righty, and Achterman has a curveball front doored on him, and he goes down looking for the 3rd strikeout registered by Nelson of this game. Here it is, another look, and right there at the knees. Right call, John Oliver soars the first pitch he sees into right center field. Right fielder Berriel grabs it with 2 hands, and 1, 2, 3. Go the Gorillas in the 3rd. We're 1/3 of the way through this contest, and the score is Pittsburgh State 1, Central Oklahoma 0. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Top of the fourth, the score is 1-0. Gorillas over the Broncos. Gorillas have had all three of their hits come in the one inning they scored. That was the bottom of the second. Back-to-back-to-back two-out singles. Meanwhile, the Broncos have had runners on in the first and the second. They went down quietly in the third. Leading things off is Philip Scott. He hit a single back in the first with two outs, was left stranded, and Richardson is overthrowing big time right now as he has spiked the last two pitches about 3 feet in front of home plate, and that one got away from Caleb Cox's catcher. If a runner had been on, they would have advanced up 90 feet. The 2-0, high 3-0. Richardson has thrown 41 pitches coming into this fourth inning. Should be relatively fresh for this, but if he is not, you can expect there to be a short leash. The 3-0 at the top of the zone for a strike. And now the home plate umpire is looking, and I don't know if he's yelling in the Pittsburgh State dugout or at the Central Oklahoma third base coach, talking about why that last one was, why the pitch prior was a strike. And now it's a walk drawn by Scott to lead off the fourth.
Designated number 12.
Now it's Kyle Crowell, the designated hitter. Richardson will be out of the stretch for the third inning, out of the 4 he has thrown. Short lead over at first by Scott. Richardson comes set and deals. Strike at the knees. Crowell flew out to left to end the first. Philip Scott over there at first. Bit of a penchant for taking off, and there's a throw over to keep him close. Scott has attempted 18 steals, has only been caught 4 times. Another look over at Scott as Richardson comes set. Double checks in the deal. That one's grounded foul of third. And it's no balls and 2 strikes here. Following Crowell, it'll be Joe Mondragon. Defense in double play depth for the Gorillas. Reesner shaded slightly closer towards second, while Cushman's there to guard the hole, but it doesn't matter. Swing and a miss by Crowell there, chasing the high cheese, and comes up empty. That is the 5th strikeout of the game here in the early goings by Richardson. After coming into the game with 38. There you can see it again, up at about the letters of Crowell, and There was no way he could catch up. So now it's Joe Mondragon. He struck out to begin the second inning, and he went down on a breaking ball in the dirt that was blocked by Cox. Now time will be called at home, so that'll have Richardson step off the rubber, reset, and do it again. First pitch to Mondragon gets by Cox. He's going to throw it in a second. Is trying to steal is the runner Scott, and he's going to be in there with a head first slide. Stolen base there, and a bit of a hesitation by Cox behind the plate is what allowed Scott to get that stolen base. Count is 1 ball and no strikes on Mondragon. It was low and it bounced a bit, but Cox took a long time getting to it, and then once he had it, he hesitated to throw down to second, not thinking he had anyone covering. It wasn't until he actually saw Cushman at second base that he made the throw. Here's another look at it. Great read in the dirt, and then the throw. The throw beat Scott, but as I said, a little bit of a hesitation had Cushman falling off on the first base side. So Scott was able to slide underneath the 2-0 in the dirt, and that one's going to get away from Scott. A wild pitch all the way to the backstop. And this here is the control issue that I mentioned that Richardson struggles with. It's Richardson's 7th wild pitch of the year. And now the batting approach really changes for Mondragon. Not only is it a 3-0 count, so he can be super selective. It doesn't need to be. He'll watch ball 4, miss inside, so disregard everything I was going to say. Puts runners at the corners with 1 out. And the batter is Tony Avila. And now there's going to be a mound visit for the Gorillas. Batter will be Tony Avila, who doubled in his last plate appearance. A 1-1 pitch he absolutely tattooed down the left field line, one hopping the fence and drilling the 330 sign. Now the home plate umpire will head there and break it up. Richardson, look of determination on his face, and heading on down to the bullpen is a Gorilla pitcher to start warming up on the off chance that he has to get in early. Runner at first, Mondragon, you can see there. The runner at third is Scott. Fastball at the knees on the inside corner, strike 1. Two balls and 1 strike. Here against Avila. Curveball swung and missed by Avila. Great block there by Cox. That's a textbook block. He was going to drop to his knees, had his glove covering the gap between them, and kept his shoulders arched forward to keep the ball in front of him. Avila's only had 2 hits in the last 2 games, but both of them have been doubles. The 0-2, that is a big sweeping breaking ball, misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Holding the runner at first, there's Herrenbrook. Outfield straight away. Middle infield set up for a double play. The 1-2, ball in the dirt, and that'll get away from Cox, and heading on down to second is Mondragon, and that will eliminate the double play, and that might really tighten up the leash. That is on Richardson here. Pass ball against Cox. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. fouled out of play over the first base dugout. Wind is absolutely dead tonight after blowing in hard from right field all day. There you saw the runner at third, Scott. Not happy with the delay in pitches. Is Avila, he'll step off. The 2-2 incoming from Richardson. In the dirt, another good block. Mike Cox. Caleb Cox has a save rate of about 50% right now. Outfielder Burgess well off the line. Huge gap if Avila can shoot it the opposite way. The 3-2, that's sent up and running over to give it a look and then giving up on it as it is out of play was Herrenbrook, the first baseman. So we will reset and do it again. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody up and warming just yet. Well, there are a few people down there in the Gorilla bullpen on the left field line. Infield is back, so they will concede the run to get the out. The 3-2, little humpback liner over to Reasoner. And that was a jam shot. That Richardson forced off the hands of Avila. So that's the second out of the inning. Reasoner, you can see, started off on the very edge of the brown turf. Took 2 steps in, made the secure catch for 2 outs. And now there is a opportunity for the girls to get out of here with no damage done. That would be a huge swing of momentum and morale. The batter is the catcher, TK McWhorter. Ball 1 low against McWhorter. He fouled out to Oliver in his previous at-bat. Take a look down at the runner at third, Scott. The runner at second is Mondragon. Not a whole lot of speed on the base pads for the Broncos, and Mondragon has a huge lead off of second. Holy cow. I mean, he's getting a walking lead off of second base. No one is attempting to hold him on. At this point, if you can keep the ball on the ground on your infield, that's not a terrible idea, but with the size of the lead that he gets from second, anything hit to the outfield probably scores him. Ground ball right back up the middle, and Richardson fields his position. He'll run over to about 10 feet from first and toss it over to Herrenbrook, and that will end the inning. Couple of walks come to naught, and the Gorillas maintain a 1-0 lead going to the bottom of the 4th. Back after this with more on the MIAA Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
1-0. Girls leading over the Broncos after Central Oklahoma. And runners at second and third with 2 outs. And they were threatening with one out. But then a little soft liner out to Quinn Reesner at second, and a ground ball right back to Richardson on the mound ended the threat. First baseman Ty Herrenbrook will start things off for Pittsburgh State. He'll watch a late breaking slider catch the top of the zone. Herrenbrook flew out to left to start the second inning. The 0-1 in there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. That was followed up by a fly ball also to left by Caleb Cox. But then 3 straight 2-out singles gave the girls a 1-0 lead, and that's where we stand. The 0-2 high. Tried to climb the ladder on Herrenbrook, get him to chase. And Herrenbrook was able to lay off. Junior, having seen that trick before, able to let it go. The 1-2. That one is an off-speed pitch in the heart of the zone, and Herrenbrook will slap it out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Braden Nelson will be yanked foul of third. Picking it up on a short hop with the backhand was Scott, and he'll get it back over to Nelson on the hill. It's Herrenbrook, Cox, and Burgess due up for the Grows here in the bottom of the 4th. The 1-2 just a bit outside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. That's too close for Herrenbrook to take a second time. The 2-2. Foul tipped into the mitt of McWhirter. That's a strikeout. And Herrenbrook becomes strikeout victim number 4 of the evening. Puts nobody on with 1 out for Caleb Cox. There you can see it again, foul tipped. Strong hands by McWhirter back there, able to hold on to it. Big hack by Cox, nothing doing. As I said, in his last at-bat, he flew out to Taylor Avila in left. 1 ball and 1 strike. Only other game that Cox has played in was against Central Missouri, where he was 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. The 1-1 will be sent into the night sky. Well to play down the right field line. 1-2 now. The 1-2. Low. A diving breaking ball. And Cox is able to lay off knowing it wasn't going to be a strike, having seen the zone firsthand as a catcher. The 2-2 incoming from Nelson. That's sent into center field. Going over to his left and making the catch on the run is Rumener. And it's 2 up and 2 down for Pittsburgh State here in the bottom of the 4th. Now up is Chaz Burgess, who, as I mentioned, singled in his last at-bat and eventually came around to score on the single by Clint Allen. He'll swing over the top of a curveball and come up empty. Playing deep in shallow right field is second baseman Black to give himself plenty of room on a ground ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike here. The 1-1 on the outside corner for a strike. 1-2 with 2 outs. Nelson, look at the sign for McWhirter. Wind and deal. 2-seamer drifts away. All square at 2 apiece. All Final 4 games pushed back because of the weather that blew in early this morning, late last night. 2-2 fouled out way. Originally, the games were set for 9 o'clock, 12:30, 4 o'clock, and 7:30. But because of the weather, the 9 a.m. game got pushed back to 10. And then everything else was played 45 minutes later. 2-2. Skied on the infield. Calling for it is the third baseman, Scott, and he'll catch it just as he gets to the pitcher's mound for the final out of the inning. 3 up and 3 down go the Gorillas in the bottom of the fourth. We're back after this with more baseball here on the MIAA Network. If you don't want...
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience
Using our skills,
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our community,
Approach the midpoint of this game. The score remains 1-0. Pittsburgh State ahead of Central Oklahoma. Leading things off for the Broncos is the right fielder, Drew Barrier. Barrier grounded out to Reisner at second. His only at bat thus far, and that ended the second inning. First pitch is a ball low, still out there. On the hill is Richardson. Nobody up and throwing in either bullpen just yet. The 1-0 low. 2-0 now. After Barrier, it'll be Harrell and Black scheduled to hit for the Broncos here in the top of the fifth. The 2-0. High, 3-0. And Richardson is in danger of walking the leadoff batter aboard again after doing so to begin the fourth. Richardson will take his time, get on the rubber, come set. Kick and deliver. The 3-1 in there for a strike. So that's 3 balls and 1 strike. Central Oklahoma wearing their Road Navy tops with Navy numerals and letters outlined in gold. The 3-1 is at the knees for a strike, and Barrier started taking off his elbow guard and threw the bat back toward the dugout, so he will have to make the about 15-foot walk of shame. And he's asking where it was, thinking it was low, and it's called a strike. Still, Barrier isn't as bad as what his teammate Harrell did yesterday, where Harrell got all the way down to first before having to be called back on a 3-1. The 3-2 grounded. Cushman gets it right at the bag. It's going to be a quick throw over to first. In time. Bang, bang play. Quick toss by Cushman. Able to retire Barrier, and Barrier is staring down home plate umpire Aaron Christians, thinking that he should have been on first base instead of out. 6-3 the ground out to begin the fifth, and now Ryan Harrell is up. He watches the ball low. Harrell in his previous at-bat grounded out to first. That was the first out of the third inning. The 1-0 from Richardson. It's grounded over to short. Cushman with the short backhand throws into first, and a great dig by Herrenbrook over at first base gets the out. Cushman kind of spiked that throw about 2/3 of the way to first to get a one-hop, short hop right at waist high for Herrenbrook, and Herrenbrook does a great job with the stretch and pick to finish the out. Now there's nobody on with 2 outs here for Black. They'll screw around the bunt, pull it back, watch a two-seamer miss outside. TJ Black 0 for 2, and he struck out twice, both times swinging. The second strikeout had to be completed as it was a curveball in the dirt, got away from Cox. He'll avoid the strikeout here and loft it right in front of the left fielder, Allen. Allen coming in rather timidly on that fly ball and has to play it on a bounce that almost went over his head based on how springy the turf is. So it's a 2-out single for Black. Here's another look at it. Going the opposite way, you can just kind of see just jogging in was Allen, and then didn't even attack the bounce aggressively, and it could have gone over his head if he wasn't careful. Got lucky with the throwing up the glove. Black over at first is going to take off on the ball in the dirt, and Cox going to try and throw him out. He's going to get into center field, past both Griesner and Cushman, picked up by the center fielder, Olmheimer, and throw into third for Oliver, and Oliver doesn't get the tag in time. You can't. Definitely going to third is an error by Cox. As you can see, he just sailed that and spiked it. But it's hard to figure out if you call that a stolen base, a wild pitch, or a pass ball that sent Black to third, or second base, excuse me. Is you can't really call it a steal. He didn't leave until the ball hit the dirt. Hard to say a pass ball as it didn't get away from Cox, and you can't really say a wild pitch as it was still near the home plate. I guess this scorer is going to call it a wild pitch. And then, like I said, the error is on Cox that allowed Black to get to third. It's 1-0, and swinging away is Brock Rumener, and he'll come up empty. Rumener grounded out to third in the first and struck out swinging in the third. Richardson comes set and deals, and it's a low. Nice block by Cox there. We'll keep Black at third base. It's 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs and a runner at third base here in the top of the 5th. Richardson's pitch count getting up there, around 80 pitches now. The 2-1 again low and in the dirt. And this time it is smothered with just the glove of Cox. It's 3-1. No one throwing yet down in the Gorilla bullpen. The 3-1 is once more in the dirt. Richardson is consistent. When he is missing low. So that's nice for Cox because it gives him an idea of what to expect. But he needs to find his control if he wants to have a chance to go much further in this game. As I mentioned, this is just his second start of the season. A look over at Rumener at first. Slide step. Ball sent down the line to right. Running over, giving a look is Burgess, but it will end up on the opposite side of the Bronco bullpen. So it's a long, loud strike. Philip Scott is 1 for 1, singling in the first and then drew a walk to lead off the 4th. Both times he was left stranded. The 0-1 just on the outside corner, strike 2. That one was right there on the black, probably about as far on the outside corner as you can get with it still being a strike. There wasn't a whole lot that Scott could do with that, so he let it go and just took the strike. Now he's going to have to protect. Look over at the runner, and he takes off the 0-2, swung on and missed. Swinging over the top of a 12-6 curveball is Scott, and Richardson gets out of yet another jam. Harry Houdini step aside, meet Dante Richardson. To the bottom of the fifth, it's 1-0 Gorillas.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Broncos in the top of the fifth, scored no runs on one hit. They left two on base, and they were aided by an error. First pitch to the batter, Blaine Ohlmeyer, is soared out to left for out number one. That's going to bring up Clint Allen, the left fielder. Allen hit it on a single that drove in Chaz Burgess back in the second inning, and he was left stranded. Allen will score around a bunt and pull the bat back. Coming into the bottom of the fifth, Braden Nelson has retired the last 7 Gorilla batters he has faced. Check swing, no appeal. Now they are going to appeal and say that Allen held up. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Nelson asks for a new baseball, and he gets one from home plate umpire Aaron Christians. Stanzak over there at first said that Allen did not go. The 2-1 just above the letters. 3 balls and no strikes. After Allen, it'll be Reisner and Cushman. The 3-0 from Nelson, right down the chute, strike one. Few guarantees in life. One is death. The other is on a 3-0 count 9 times out of 10. And baseball or softball, the batter will take. The 3-1, that is on the outside corner for a strike. Same pitch that was called a strike against Drew Barrier. The Barrier thought was a ball. So the count is now full. The 3-2, and that'll be fouled down the right. And oh, he just missed the light pole. That's a shame. That'd have been a nice little doinker. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. The Gorillas leading 1-0 over the Broncos. Nelson's 3-2, that's in the onside corner, and once again, Allen, thinking he had ball 4, will be caught with a strike, and he goes down looking for out number 2 in the bottom of the fifth. There's the swing and the foul ball by Allen, the pitch prior. So that was Quinn Reisner, and that pitch is a ball, just a little outside. Maybe half a baseball's worth farther outside than the previous 2 that were called strikes on Allen, and now a pitch will go through the wickets of the catcher McWhorter right to the backstop. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Nelson, very much a control pitcher. He's only hit 1 batter. He's thrown no wild pitches. However, he is able to fill up the zone as he has 46 strikeouts to just 6 walks. 2-0, missing 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes on Quinn Reesner, the Gorilla second baseman, and that is a strike right down the middle. So for back-to-back batters, Braden Nelson falls behind 3-0 and then gets a strike. He'll get signed for McWhirter. Kick and deal, and that's on the lower outside corner. Count full. That has been there for every 2 and 3 ball count. Great job by Nelson to figure out where the outer portion of the zone is and just hammer it in this inning. The 3-2. It's grounded to short where it's picked up by Harrell. Strong toss over to first to Mondragon in first in time for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down go the Gorillas in the bottom of the 5th. It's on to the 6th with Pittsburgh State leading University of Central Oklahoma 1-0. Back after this with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship Tournament.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
As we begin the top of the 6th, the score remains 1-0 in favor of Pittsburgh State. Each team with 3 hits now. However, Central Oklahoma has yet to capitalize on the numerous base runners they have had. Thus far in the game, they have left 6 stranded, many of them in scoring position. Kyle Crowell, the designated hitter, will lead things off in the top of the 6th. He watches ball 1 miss low and away. Richardson at 84 pitches with that one he's just thrown here in the 6th. Not the worst pitch count, but you would definitely like it to be a little lower. The average that a pitching coach would like a pitcher to throw per inning is 14. On the dirt, check swing appeal to first. They say he did not go. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike. By that measure, Richardson should be in the 7th, as 6 times 14 is 84. As it stands, he is now at 86 pitches and just beginning the 6th inning. The 2-2 coming up. That'll be yanked fair past a diving Oliver into the corner. Digging it out is Allen, racing around first and pulling into second with a leadoff double is Kyle Crowell. And the Broncos are in business here to begin the 6th inning. Richardson not happy, thinking that was a foul ball. Let's take a look at the replay here, and it went right past a diving Oliver. Oliver so far back at third and off the line that is indeed a fair ball. So now Joe Mondragon is up, and before Mondragon stepped up, catcher Caleb Cox was signing that there could be a bunt, and there is indeed. It's a 2-seamer, high and outside. The 1-0 Coming next from Richardson, as in at first base is Herrenbrook to cover the first base side if there is a bunt. Swing around is Mondragon, and again, it'll be outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Rest of the infield, Reasoner is shaded over toward first base to cover when Herrenbrook crasses. Cushman is right behind Crowell at second to cover the second base. Bunt is down toward the third base sign to be picked up by Oliver, only plays to first, and they're going to say he is out. And Central Oklahoma, the dugout, initially furious, thinking that Herrenbrook may have taken his foot off the bag. See if we can get another look here from this angle. Throw over. No, his foot is clearly on the bag, but maybe the foot of Mondragon hit there first. Couldn't tell from that angle. And when you can't tell, the call always stands. So going to third on the sacrifice bunt is Kyle Crowell. Pitching coach Aaron Mead is out there, and there's another look. Ball is in the glove before the foot hits the bag. You can tell going frame by frame there. If you look, there's the ball. You can see it in the mitt just barely. There is some space, the brown turf between the foot and the bag. Excellent call right there by first base umpire Greg Stanzak, standing in the middle of the diamond, able to see that far and make the accurate call. So now there's a runner at third with 1 out for Central Oklahoma, having an opportunity to tie this game up in the 6th inning. There's a righty up and throwing in the Pittsburgh State bullpen. That mound visit from pitching coach Mead to help give a little more time. Once again, with 1 out and a runner in third, the Gorilla infield will play deep, willing to concede the run to get the out. Being the home team, they don't necessarily have to play nearly as aggressive when it comes to runners coming home. The 1-0 from Richardson to Avila is going to be yanked foul and roll harmlessly into the Gorilla dugout. Richardson at over 90 pitches now with the start of this at bat with Taylor Avila. Avila, for his part, has doubled and lined out to second. He'll send one way down the line to left and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Richardson trying to get out of yet another runner in scoring position. Less than 2 out jam here. The 1-2 just high, and all the fans in red not happy with that call. It looked up to me, as home plate umpire Aaron Christians has made it abundantly clear, you go above the numerals, it's a ball. The 2-2. That one swung on a miss by Cox. They're not going to say he didn't tag and throw down to third, and that will retire Avila. And looking the runner back at third, Crowell has to stay put. That is the 7th strikeout by Richardson today. And a great job there by Caleb Cox. He blocked the ball first, tried to get the tag. When he didn't, he made sure to check the runner back at third, hold him, and made a strong, accurate throw over to first base to get the 2nd out of the inning. And now the batter is TK McWhirter, who is 0 for 2. And a big breaking curveball is in there for a strike. McWhirter today has fouled out to third, grounded out to the pitcher. In the game against Missouri Southern, he went 0 for 4 with 2 flyouts and a ground out. The 0-1 from Richardson, low. What a block by Cox there, trapping it between his chest protector and his wrist. Caleb Cox, when runners get to third base, he becomes a wall, not letting it get far enough away for them to come in and score. The 1-1, that's a fastball right down Main Street, and McWhirter is not going to see a better pitch, even if it's placed on a tee. And that right there comes from the fact that you have a hitter in a mini slump where they have yet to have any sort of a base knock in their last 7 plate appearances. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, a runner on third. The pitch that's grounded, picked up by Reisner on the first base side. Second throw over to first in time. And again, Richardson playing with fire, avoids getting burned. At the end of 5.5, it's Pittsburg State 1, Central Oklahoma 0. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience
Using our skills,
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our community, of our communities.
There you go. It's the bottom of the 6th, and Pittsburg State is leading Central Oklahoma 1-0, and I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Jim Johnson, Director of Athletics here at Pittsburg State. Mr. Johnson, thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you for having me, Shelby.
Now,
Great job with this broadcast. You must really like baseball.
oh, I love baseball. This is about as close to a dream come true for me as I can think of. Leading things off for the girls in the bottom of the first will be Tyson Cushman, the shortstop. Mr. Johnson, talk about what this means hosting a tournament of this prestige as Cushman lines it into left field for a leadoff single.
Well, it's been a lot of fun, Shelby. It's when we went to this rotational basis, we got lucky and drew year number 1 out of the 4-year rotation, and we're hoping to get our facility done so we could host, and had a little bit of a deadline back in the fall to do that. And when we saw that things were going to work out, then obviously we got excited for the community of Pittsburgh to host this, to showcase our new facility and to showcase our baseball team, and then what you guys do obviously with our webcast. So it's been a lot of fun on a lot of fronts.
Ackerman bunting the ball foul, trying to sacrifice Cushman over. Talk about this facility. What it all went into this, and how nice is it to have this facility for the baseball program, as well as the renovation that you've done down for the softball team as well?
Right. So if you go back to about 2012, we built the hitting building that you see out beyond the center field fence there, and then we added turf a couple of summers ago, and then this facility along with the softball dressing room inside the building. And so with all that, it took a few years to get it done, but we think we have a facility that's comparable to anybody in the country at our level, and our guys love it. They've been having a great time all week in the new clubhouse. And so we're just really fortunate to have it, obviously.
Line drive into left on a hit and run from Ackerman puts runners at first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. The Gorillas threatening to score again. And now there'll be a brief conference of the mound between McWhirter as well as the catcher Nelson and the shortstop Harold to get on the same page. What have you heard from the other teams? Because it's not just Pittsburg State's baseball team that's been able to use this facility. You've had the other teams who have been here, Central Oklahoma, Central Missouri. They've been able to take advantage of some some of the facilities in here. What have you heard from players and coaches who've been a part of those programs when they come in and look at this?
Well, I think they've enjoyed it. There are a lot of good baseball facilities in our league, and a lot of good facilities overall in our league in a lot of different sports. Certainly, baseball's no exception. And I think, I haven't heard a lot, honestly, not being around those guys as they come off, on and off the field or leave the facility after a game. But I know a lot of compliments from our fans, a lot of compliments from folks visiting from other schools, and I think the players have really enjoyed it. It's a great facility to play in, great surface to play on, and when you get to this point in the year and you're trying to win a conference championship, get in the NCAA tournament, I think they all, I hope and think they all think they've played in a quality tournament in a quality facility this weekend.
Talk about the NCAA tournament. Currently, you have 4 teams. All 4 of the top seed teams still in this are in the top 10 of the Central region. You have Central Missouri, Central Oklahoma, Missouri Southern, and the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. What kind of competition do you think the MIAA breeds when it comes to playing in the postseason like that?
Well, it's certainly, baseball's no exception. We're proud of our league on a lot of fronts and in a lot of sports, and we think we're right at the top in the country in just about everything we do. And again, baseball no exception to that. So to have 4 or 5 teams in that top 8, is exciting. That's not unusual. That happens a lot of years. We're fortunate this year to be in that mix. We probably need to win the tournament to get in, quite honestly. But anytime you battle each other throughout the year, have a great tournament, conference tournament like this, and then whoever gets in, you want them to go on and do well and represent the league and win a national championship.
Going back a little bit to what you said about being on a 4-year rotation, this baseball championships. So 4 years from now, will it come back here to Pittsburgh State, or will we get a different cycle that goes on?
No, we hope to stick with this cycle now for a while. This is kind of the first year of a new system. We played at a neutral site for a while. Then we allowed schools in the league to bid on the championship. We did that for 3 years, I believe. And then now we're on a rotation. But there are some criteria in order to be in the rotation. You have to have an all-turf field, have to have lights, you have to have a press box, you have to have a hitting facility, you have to have access to a second turf field in case weather causes you to have to play more than one game at a time. So right now only 4 schools in the league, us, Central Missouri, Central Oklahoma, and Missouri Southern have all of that. Lindenwood would have been in that rotation, but with them leaving then, instead of 5, it'll be down to 4. So unless, and somebody may make some facility improvements and that rotation may change.
Ground ball by Oliver to second base, over to short, back to first, a 4-6-3 double play. Just what the doctor ordered for Central Oklahoma. Going to third is Cushman, but being retired at second, on his way to second, is Ackerman, and hitting into that double play was John Oliver on a 2-2 pitch. Take a look at it again. Is great job by TJ Black, fielding it cleanly. Nice toss over to Ryan Harrell, and Harrell, the strong turn, completes the double play. I guess one last question I will ask you about this is talking. I know it's a bit of a sore subject with Lindenwood leaving, but talk about how the MIAA is growing in the future.
Yeah, we're having a lot of discussions about that, Shelby. It's obviously expansion of a league is a big deal because it affects a lot of different things relative to scheduling, travel, and typically when you expand, you stick with that for an extended period of time. So you want to make sure and make the right decisions.
Aaron Brook hits one deep into right center field. It's going to get over the the right fielder barrier. It's going to bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. And coming in to score is Tyson Cushman. The Gorillas will take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th.
But it's, a lot of us kind of like the number of 12 with Lindenwood and SBU leaving. We are going to bring Rogers State and Newman in. They were 2 schools that really didn't have a league. They'll be associate members, so that's quite a bit different than being a full member. We'll evaluate that after a couple of years and see where we are. But we want to make good decisions, based on good data, what's best for our coaches and student athletes in terms of travel, missed class, those kinds of things. So we got a lot of great administrators in in this league, good presidents, good CEO council that'll make those final decisions. It'll be well thought out, and we'll see where that goes in the future.
Bringing it back to this tournament, what all went into the decision-making process for today? You knew that the weather was going to be coming in late last night, early today. How did you determine that just pushing the games back an hour and then having a start time of 45 minutes post the end of each previous game was the proper thing to do today?
Yeah, we thought, our schedule worked really well the last 2 days, but we did have a lot of downtime between games, which is fine. But we thought with the forecast, if it was accurate and looked like it was probably a good chance it was going to be, that we'd get teams here to hit at 7 this morning and then likely get some pitchers warmed up and then maybe have a rain delay. So we pushed it that hour later. Everybody got to sleep in a little extra this morning, and then we just shortened the time between games. So we weren't far off of where we've been the last 2 days, by this time of night. So I think it worked out really well.
Talk about just the overall quality of the games that you've seen today as a ground ball is through the hole on the left side, being waved around third and sent home to score is going to be Herrenbrook to throw home, and he will be out by a good 20 feet. And talk, as we see this relay playing a great bit of baseball here, talk about the overall quality of baseball that we have seen in this tournament.
Well, really good baseball. Central Oklahoma, got us beat us 3 times early in the year. Maybe it might have been our first conference series down in Edmond, and obviously they were good back.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play.
Central Missouri still quality team. Not sure how many years in a row they've won 30 games, and Missouri Southern. Coach Darnell's done a good job over there since he joined them back in 2006 or 7, whenever he started there. But good coaches, good players, and makes for good baseball games. And I know you've enjoyed it.
Oh, I've had a blast calling him. Mr. Jim Johnson, thank you very much for your time.
You.
And enjoy the rest of this tournament.
Buddy, thank you.
That was Jim Johnson, the athletic director of Pittsburg State University. We will take a very short break and come back with the top of the 7th, where the Gorillas lead the Broncos 2-0. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
At our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA.
MIAA,
the spirit of our communities.
Two to nothing after driving in Tyson Cushman, who led the bottom of the 6th off with a single. Eventually came around to score on the double by Ty Herrenbrook. Herrenbrook was then cut down, trying to score from second base on the single by Caleb Cox to end the 6th inning. Leading things off for Central Oklahoma in the top of the 7th with the right fielder Drew Barrier, who had that ball bury him, leading the double that scored Cushman. And as 1 ball and 1 strike, still out there on the mound for the Gorillas is Richardson. His pitch count is now at 100. Coming into this inning with 98. The 1-1 swung on and missed, climbing the ladder on Barrier, and Barrier can't come up with it. The 1-2 on the way. Fouled out of play. After Barrier, it'll be Ryan Harrell, the shortstop. Then head back to the top of the order with T.J. Black for the Broncos here in the 7th. Richardson along, looking at Cox to get the sign. He'll kick and deal. On the out, they're going to peel down to third, and they're going to say he did not go around. Richardson thought he got strikeout number 8 there. But third base umpire Matt Ossenfort said that Barrier was able to hold off. The 2-2. Yanked foul and hitting the top of the Broncos dugout. And ricocheting back on the field of play. So we'll reset and do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's the check swing, and yeah, he held up. The bat head was nowhere near the front of the plate. His wrists were nowhere close to breaking. Those are the two signs that you look for on a check swing, and the 2-2 will be sent down the line and left. Going to dig it out of the corner is Allen. He's got to play it off a weird hop, and ending up at second base with a leadoff double is Drew Barrier. That is the second consecutive inning that Richardson has a double start off an inning. There it is again on a pitch on the outer half of the plate. Barrier didn't do too much, just slapped it the other way, and then once it was in the corner, there was just the question of how many bases that Drew Barrier would take. So now the batter is Ryan Harrell, who is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. 1 to first, 1 to short. Cushman trying to hold Barrier close at second. Harrell will fake a bunt, pull the bat back, and watch a strike go by. No balls and 1 strike. Now squaring around early is Harrell, and he is going to try to bunt. And they're going to peel down to the field umpire, Greg Stanzak, to see if Harrell offered with the bunt, and he says no, drew the bat back in time. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's a look at it, and yeah, he pulled it back early in time. That's the strike that he called, excuse me. The 1-1, laying it down and bunting it foul is Harrell. So that's 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Central Oklahoma shortstop. Harrell looking for his first hit in 2 games. As he is 0 for 5 currently. He did lay down a sacrifice bunt against Missouri Southern, but beyond that, he hasn't had any sort of production offensively. The 1-2 is jam shot toward Oliver at third. He'll check the runner, see there's no play, go over to first, and that is the first out of the inning. Barrier will take third as Oliver had to come off his position in order to field the ground ball. So it's back to TJ Black and the beginning of the Broncos batting order. Black 1 for 3, a single and 2 strikeouts. He did get to third on a wild pitch and a throwing error. The 0-1 swung on a miss on a big curveball, and Black very anxious to get that run in. On the year, TJ Black is a .287 hitter, and with runners in scoring position, he hits .281, so not much of an uptick from what his standard batting average is. Richardson comes set and deal a fastball in there, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. A lefty up and throwing in Central Oklahoma's bullpen. And it could be the end of the night for Braden Nelson. The 0-2 is right off the side of the new facility. Ended at the third baseline of the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. The runner there at third, as you can see, is Barrier. Once more, the 0-2. That one just a bit outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Black, 383 on base percentage, so if he can't get the run in, he will do his best to try and get on himself. The 1-2, that'll be grounded to third. Oliver will go to first, and they apply the tag. Oliver's throw brought Herrenbrook off the bag, but Herrenbrook was able to apply and slap the runner Black heading to first base. That's the second out of the inning. Coming in to score is Barrier. So the Broncos are on the board. Here you can go and throw on the first base side, home plate side of first. And Black thinking he might have been able to get an interference call and get first base, but no such ruling. Batter is Brock Rumener. Curveball that drops straight down, bounces just over the feet of Rumener, who is 0 for 2. A ground out of third and a strikeout. The only other at plate appearance was a walk. The 1-0 swung on and missed by Rumener. The second team All MIAA outfielder is Rumener. Faced off against the all first team MIAA outfielder in DJ Miller in Central Oklahoma's first game of this tournament against Lindenwood at 9 a.m. on Thursday. It's 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 out. Nobody on. Central Oklahoma has scored their first run. The 2-1. Foul tipped into the glove of Cox. That makes it 2-2. And Richardson, a look of determination on his face. Close to 120 pitches here as he's yet to get out of the 7th. He'll get the sign from Cox. Kicks and fires. Swung on and missed. Rumener chasing the high fastball and comes up empty. That is strikeout number 8 for Richardson on the night. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's now Pittsburgh State 2, Central Oklahoma 1. Back after this with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship following these messages.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
New pitcher for Central Oklahoma is the left-hander Landon Bond. Bond through an inning and a third against Missouri Southern, allowed no runs. Did allow 2 hits, but allowed the shutout to continue. His first batter will be Chaz Burgess. Following Burgess, it'll be Blaine Olmeyer, who you can see on your screen there, who is 1 for 2. And rounding things out should be Clint Allen. Chaz Burgess, 1 for 2, a single back in the second with 2 outs, and he popped out to third in the 4th. He eventually came around to score in the second inning, courtesy of the single by Clint Allen. Ball on the lower outside corner, strike 1. So, starting pitcher Brandon Nelson's night is done after 6 innings of 2-run ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Burgess. Defense is straight away here for Central Oklahoma. The 1-1 check swing. They'll peel down to third, and not going around is Burgess, and the pitcher Bond is visibly frustrating, throwing his hands out to his sides as if to say, "What do you mean?" Bond trying to imitate a Bond villain by keeping the majority of his face covered. The 2-1 is fouled off his heel. 2-2. Landon Bond only keeps his eyes visible to his catcher with the position of his glove and the bill of his helmet. The 2-2, thinking about swinging, was Burgess, and he will lay off. The score count now 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2, low, ball 4, working the walk is Burgess to start off the bottom of the 7th. So the center fielder, excuse me, Blaine Ohlmeyer comes up. Short lead over at first by Burgess with a left-hander Bond on the mound, and now he will change where he keeps his hands, having them right at his waist. It's the first time that we've seen Bond work out of the stretch in this tournament. Against the Lions, he retired all 4 batters that he faced initially. Then when he gave up a hit, he was pulled. Squaring around the bunt is Ohlmeyer, and he'll pull it back, take ball 2. That is 5 straight balls thrown by Landon Bond. Bond is the senior out of Gainesville, Texas, coming to Central Oklahoma courtesy of a detour at Rose State. No one is up in the Central Oklahoma bullpen, and so he'll have pitching coach Todd George tell him that this is all Bond right now. He's going to have to work out of this, as it's his job to get the lefty. 2-0 the count on Ohlmeyer, who is 1 for 2, a single in the second, and then he flew out to left. Throw over to first, and it almost gets away from Mondragon. Nice pick there by Mondragon over at first. Otherwise, that could have ricocheted off Central Oklahoma dugout into right field. And with Burgess' speed, he could have possibly ended up at third. The 2-0 bunt foul. Not fully committing to it was Ohlmeyer. You could kind of see his feet shuffling as the ball got to him, and he kind of shook the bat a bit, so he wasn't firm with his grip or his feet, and that had him bunt the ball foul. The 2-1 again, swinging on the bunt is Ohlmeyer. He'll get it down. Bond has it, throw to second, 1, and Harrell will hold on to it at second base. They'll cut down the lead runner, Burgess. 1-6 on the fielder's choice for the first out of the 7th inning. That was much too hard of a bunt. He didn't kill it near enough, so Bond was able to field it cleanly, made a very strong throw over to Harrell, and then Harrell considered trying to turn the double play, but recognizing Ohlmeyer's speed, held off. So now it's Clint Allen who will watch a breaking ball miss low and in. Bottom of the 7th, Pittsburgh State leading 2-1. If they win this game, these two teams will play again tomorrow at 12:30. If Central Oklahoma can pull back and take the lead and win, they will play the championship at 12:30 against the winner of Missouri Southern and Central Missouri. 1 ball, 1 strike on Allen. Central Missouri and Missouri Southern will play at 9 a.m. tomorrow as a result of Missouri Southern beating Central Missouri 5-4 earlier this afternoon. Ball slapped foul and out of play and hitting the corner of the Broncos bullpen and then bouncing out. I don't think Allen could pull that off if he tried. The 1-2 pitch incoming from Bond. A check of the runner at first, high and outside. 2-2. Central Oklahoma in the top of the 8th. It will be the 3, 4, 5 hitters, Scott, Crowell, and Mondrigan. The throw over to first and back standing is Ohlmeyer at about a 2-step lead. Two and 1. Pittsburgh State leading Central Oklahoma. The 2-2, low and away. That'll fill the count full. Possibility of a hit and run here to avoid an inning-ending double play, but I would doubt that. Allen, and the runner is going, and it was a hit and run. And Allen couldn't have done anything with the pitch, so he just threw his bat head out and knocked it foul. Ohlmeyer did not play against Central Missouri yesterday. Allen did not play against Central Missouri yesterday, getting the game off, replaced by Tyler Pittman. They're over to first and back standing is Ohlmeyer. Bond thinking that if Ohlmeyer took off on the previous pitch, he'd take off just then, but a good read of the leg has Ohlmeyer back to the bag standing up. The 3-2. Ball 4. It's a one-out walk worked by Clint Allen. He drew a one-out walk in the 9th inning of Pittsburgh State's game against Emporia State on Thursday. He was then replaced by a pinch runner. So now it's runners on first and second. The runner at second base is Ohlmeyer. The runner at first, Allen. Bond will check Ohlmeyer at second and throw a fastball that'll hit the outside corner against Reasoner. Quinn Reasoner, the true freshman, is 0 for 2. Struck out swinging in the second and grounded out to short in the third. Bond once more will check the runner at second. Black was holding him close. A foul ball by Reasoner straight to the backstop. And he will find himself down no balls and 2 strikes. Have to look out for the devastating breaking ball that Landon Bond has. Big hole on the right side as Black is holding the runner at second, Ohlmeyer. The 0-2 swung on and missed. There it is. Bond goes to that big breaking ball, and he'll get Reasoner to swing over the top. It's the first strikeout of the game for Landon Bond, and it puts 2 outs and 2 on here in the bottom of the 7th for the Gorillas. Tyson Cushman will come up. Bond closes himself off with his set stance and deals foul tip through the legs, and catching home plate umpire Aaron Christians. So, as a professional courtesy, TK McWhirter will head out to his pitcher and give home plate umpire Christians a little bit of time. They'll swap balls, and now both McWhirter and Christians will head back behind the plate. Cushman standing out of the box, inquiring to make sure that Christians is okay. He might be okay, but he might be talking a few octaves higher. No balls and 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Runner at second, Ohlmeyer. The runner at first, Allen. The 0-1 Low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shortstop Harrell with the left-hand hitter up will be the charged with keeping Ohlmeyer near the bag at second base. The 0-1-1 up, 2-1. That's above the numerals. That's a ball. Aaron Christian's been very uniform calling that. See head coach Bob Fornelli there at third. Bond along looking at his catcher, and Cushman wanting to speed things along, so he will ask for time and be granted it. He'll dig back in. Bond will get back on the rubber. The 2-1. Low, 3-1. Tyson Cushman on the year. 409 on base percentage coming into today, having drawn 30 walks. He's 1 for 3 today. The 3-1, low, ball 4. There's the 31st walk of the season for Cushman. And the bases will be loaded for Alex Achterman. Achterman, as well as John Oliver, the next hitter, are the last 2 batters Bond wants to face, with the bases being loaded. It is a lefty-on-lefty matchup, so that will favor Bond a bit, but Achterman is a phenomenal hitter, hitting .297 on the year. Only .204 against lefties. But with 2 outs, he's a .308 hitter. 1 ball, no strikes to Achterman. The pitch, that'll be fouled out of play over the new facility on the left field line. Makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. Will give a very long look at his catcher McWhirter as he taps his knees and his shoulders for the pitch. The 1-1 sent into foul territory behind third. Drifting back is Scott, and he will make the catch with a snow cone to end the inning. So the Gorillas load him up, but can't come through. We go to the top of the 8th. It's Pittsburgh State 2, Central Oklahoma 1. You are watching the MIAA Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
BY. Yeah. It is the top of the 8th. Score is 2-1. Pittsburgh State leading Central Oklahoma, and out to start it is Dante Richardson with 118 pitches on his arm. So he's going to be out there throwing until the game is tied or in jeopardy. He will face off against Philip Scott for the 4th time. The pitch bouncing just in front of home, ball 1. That's what Richardson has had trouble with all night. If he's going to miss, he's going to miss low, and it bounces into his catcher, Caleb Cox. 1-0, just a bit low, 2-0. Still the same starting defenders for the Gorillas. Richardson and Cox, the battery. Herrenbrook, Reasoner, Cushman, Oliver from first to third, and Allen, Allmeyer, and Burgess left to right. The 2-0 in there for a strike. Scott is 1 for 2. He singled in the first, drew a walk in the fourth, and struck out swinging in the fifth. The 2-1 fouled away. 2-2. Pitch number 123 coming. The 2-2. That'll be ripped foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There. At third base is head coach John Martin of Central Oklahoma. The 2-2 on the outside corner, hanging the K backwards on Scott, and Scott knew it. He started walking toward the dugout, knowing that low outside pitch has been in the zone all night. Couldn't pull the trigger, and he has to head back to grab some pine. So now the batter will be Kyle Crowell. Crowell is 1 for 3. He's flown out to left, struck out swinging, and doubled in the sixth. He did get to third base, courtesy of a sac bunt by Joe Mondrigan, but then he was left stranded. The 1-0 is fouled out of play. The 1-1 curveball in the dirt makes it 2-1. Richardson over 125 pitches. 2-2 high fastball. He has not lost any velocity though, as he blows the high cheese right by Crowell. The 2-2 is sent out of play over the dugout on the first base side. Two balls, 2 strikes on Crowell, the designated hitter for University of Central Oklahoma. The 2-2 curveball buckling the knees of Crowell, and he'll go down looking. Strikeout number 10 for the senior of the native of Pittsburgh High School. And right there, the old jiggle of the leg, as it being where you can't pull the trigger. Joe Mondrigan is the batter now. The pitch, low, ball 1. Mondrigan has struck out swinging in the second, drew a walk in the fourth, then laid down a sac bunt in the sixth. The 1-0 on the way. Grounded to second. Reasoner fields it with 2 hands. Over to Herrenbrook at first. And that go 1-2-3 to the Broncos in the top of the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 2-1 Pittsburgh State. Back after this here on the MIAA Network.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
New pitcher for the Broncos is the right-hander Junior Obeso. Obeso came in against Missouri Southern yesterday through 2/3 of an inning, gave up no runs. He finished out the 8th after Landon Bond ran into a bit of trouble. He was the bridge to the closer. That was Josh Rutland, and that sealed the game for the Broncos. And this game, Obeso's first batter will be John Oliver, who outside of this game has put the Gorillas on his back and led them to victory. He'll watch ball one miss low. Tonight, Oliver has flown out to right twice and hit into a 4-6-3 double play. 2 balls and no strikes. His fly out to right in the first was a nice running catch by Barrier, as Barrier followed it all the way into foul territory, then made the catch before crashing into the foul to the barrier. 2-1. Oliver made up his mind he was going to swing before the pitch was thrown, and he will come up empty. The 2-1, excuse me, outside, 3-1. On deck is Ty Herrenbrook. The 3-1 swung on and missed. Oliver pulled his head on that one and came up empty. Obeso starting off on the first base side of the rubber. The 3-2, missing, ball 4. And Oliver will draw a leadoff walk. And that is the first walk of Oliver tonight, as well as his 18th on the year. So now Ty Herrenbrook will come up and he'll watch a ball miss. Herrenbrook 1 for 3, flew out to left. He struck out swinging, and he doubled back in the 6th. He was eventually cut down on a nice throw from the left fielder Avila, as Herrenbrook tried to score from second on the single by Caleb Cox. 1 ball and 1 strike. Aggressive base running, try and get a bigger lead, as at that point it was a 2-0 lead. It's now 2-1. Pitt State leading Central Oklahoma, and a bunt foul smashing the fingers of Herrenbrook, and there is exactly why. You can see he wraps his hand all the way around the bat, and you do that, you are bound to get your fingers smashed at some point. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Herrenbrook. The pitch swung on and missed. Breaking ball that dove well down and away from Herrenbrook, and he will go down swinging. And it's probably a bit of a relief for him, honestly, as that allows him to get his hand elevated and maybe get some ice on it in preparation of the next inning. So the batter will be Caleb Cox, who is 1 for 3. Fly ball to left, fly ball to center. And that first pitch is a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Here in the bottom of the 8th, the girls leading 2-1. Now 0-1 missing just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody throwing down in the Gorilla bullpen. A couple pitchers standing there with their warm-ups on, but that's the extent of it. And now caught in between first and second, head first slide, and being thrown out is the runner Oliver. He took off early, thought he had Obeso's move timed, and he shouldn't have stopped because his stopping is what killed him. Here's the head first slide, and he slid well too soon, got slapped on the helmet before the hand hit the bag. That's the correct call, so Oliver is picked off 1-3-6 for the second out of the inning. And now Cox will have to figure out a way to get on with 2 outs, and now with 2 strikes on him. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Here in the bottom of the 8th, the girls leading 2-1. The pitch swung on and missed. Cox will go down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning for Junior Obeso. And that's going to do it for the girls in the bottom of the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh State. Back after this with the throwing conclusion on the MIAA Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
It's the top of the 9th. Pittsburgh State leading 2-1, looking to force a play-in game tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. against the Central Oklahoma Broncos. And out to lead the charge at the moment is Dante Richardson, the senior right-handed pitcher, native of Pittsburgh, Kansas, graduate of Pittsburgh High School, coming to the Gorillas from Independence Community College. He's thrown 132 pitches coming into this inning, and he will face off against Taylor Avila. The first pitch is a ball low, and as terrible as that sounds, that's probably a good thing for Richardson, as he has started off every batter in these later innings with a ball. And take a look at this windup right here. Very unique stance. Half of his feet on the front of the rubber, half on the back. But then when he kicks into his windup, puts that plant foot on the front of the rubber, allowing him to push forward. Ball low, 2 balls and 1 strike. His windup, a bit of a walk motion essentially whenever he does his step back and his step forward. Here's another look at it as close up. There's the pivot, puts the foot on the front of the rubber and the push. The 2-0 sent into center field, coming in, making a sliding catch. Here's Ohlmeyer. What a play in center field. So much so it took Tyson Cushman by surprise, and he missed the throw in. What a play in center field to start the top of the 9th. Ohlmeyer coming in a full sprint, timing his slide perfectly and nabbing it for out number 1. That'll bring up TK McWhirter, the catcher for the Gorillas. No, there's going to be a pinch hitter. McWhirter was scheduled to bat, but there will be a pinch hitter. And coming in to hit, I believe, is Paul Croft. It is indeed Paul Croft. Paul Croft, senior on this team. He is a 6 foot, 200-pound senior out of Oklahoma City. And he also came to the Broncos from Rose State. The 0-1 is yanked foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Richardson at 137 pitches. There is no tomorrow for the Gorillas. So Richardson will pitch until his arm falls off. The 1-2, just barely getting a piece and knocking it the other way, was Kropp. Defense straight away for the Gorillas against the right-handed hitting Kropp. Richardson holds his glove up. He'll get the sign from Cox. Kick and fire. Curveball started on the outside corner and missed low and away. Good spot and location for that curveball, but Kropp, having been through the rigors of college baseball, was able to lay off. The 1-2, fastball low and outside, and Kropp shuffled his feet as if to swing and then decided against it. So it's 2-2 here with 1 out in the top of the 9th. There's a righty up, standing behind the rubber down in the Gorilla bullpen. May come in if necessary. The 2-2 at the outside corner at the knee. Strike 3. Richardson pounding that corner, and Kropp asking where it was and not happy about it. Strikeout number 11 for Richardson, buckling the knees, knee high outside Black. The second out of the inning here in the 9th. Richardson, 1 out away from a complete game. Having thrown 141 pitches, he's facing off against Drew Barrier. First pitch, 2-seamer on the outside corner, strike 1. Barrier 2 for 3 today. He doubled in the 7th and later came around to score on a pair of groundouts to John Oliver at 3rd. Beyond that, Barrier's grounded out to 2nd and grounded out to 1st. The 0-1 in the dirt, check swing by Barrier, didn't go. Nice block by Cox back there. On the off chance Barrier will reach, the shortstop Ryan Harrell is actually going to be pinch hit for. The 1-1 fouled back into the netting, and Central Oklahoma down to their final strike in this game. 135 pitches and counting for Dante Richardson, the senior, showing tremendous grit. The 1-2 whipped foul almost into the Central Oklahoma dugout. Quick hands by TJ Black, who's at the very edge of the dugout, kept it out. Richardson once more straddling the rubber. The 1-2 high, 2-2. I believe the pinch hitter on the on-deck circle for Central Oklahoma is Mason Carrier. and he will step into the left-hand batter's box if Barrier can reach. The 2-2, swung on and missed! Strikeout number 12 by Dante Richardson. A complete game win for the senior and native of Pittsburgh, Kansas, to force a play-in game tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. A spot in the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship game on the line between the Gorillas and the Broncos. We'll step aside after this and come back with final stats here from Al Ortolani Field.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Welcome back to the final time here on day 3 at Al Ortolani Field. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas win 2-1 behind a stalwart pitching performance by senior Dante Richardson. Richardson gets the win, went 9 innings, gave up 1 run and 5 hits, struck out 12. The Gorillas committed 1 error as a team. They also, finish off the stats for the Broncos, I should say. They scored 1 run on 5 hits. They committed no errors. They left 7 runners on base. Losing pitcher is Brandon Nelson. He went 6 innings and gave up a run. After that, the only run given up was by Landon Bond in the 7th. For the Gorillas, as I said, winning pitcher Dante Richardson, he went 9 innings, gave up 1 run. The Gorillas, for their part, scored 2 runs on 7 hits. They committed 1 error and left 6 on base. They still have the woes of leaving runners on, but today they did just enough to get the win. And so we have our bracket set for tomorrow at 9 a.m. It's number 1 Central Missouri against number 2 Missouri Southern, playing for a spot in the 4 p.m. title game. Then at 12:30, it's number 3 Central Oklahoma against number 4 Pittsburgh State, also playing for a spot at the championship game at 4 p.m. So that'll do it for us here tonight at Al Ortolani Field. I have been Showboy. Tune in tomorrow morning, folks, for the crowning of a champion. And that right there is the sign of a man who wanted it and got it. Have a good night, folks.